at all.
True. So that is also a bit of a slower start, but it was really strong. Double Haunted Creeper with Mad Scientist and a Web Spinner. That is
Yeah.
not negligible at all.
Enclave Zuka, that's pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, against shielded mini bot starts and the big game hunter that was thrown out on the board and the wild pyromancer. Ultimately, very well played from both players. I think the wild pyromancer play was much better than I initially thought. We just threw it on the board.
Yeah, as we saw later in that game, there was no really any good point for Wild Pyromancer to be used.
Yeah, not at all. I just tend to be very conservative with them and definitely not something I would have done in this case, which would have been a huge mistake. So very well played by Savjz for sure.
All right,
I'm just curious, Druid is what's left here for Savjz, right? How will that fare against a Hunter deck? The specific Hunter deck the Kolento is running.
Well, typically, if it doesn't have a lot of taunts, Druid is going to fare pretty terribly. It needs to draw something like Innervate Keeper to have much of a chance, or it needs to draw Wild Growth and then curve into just a bunch of taunts. Generally, the combo isn't that good against Hunter because you need basically early game, and the combo is more of a late game. If you draw the combo early, they're pretty much dead cards. Savage War might be a little useful, but otherwise, it's not really what you want.
Alright, we'll see what exactly Savjz brought. Was it a combo with Druid? You said he really favored the... Oh, wow.
Well...
This is weak to Freezing Trap if you go all in on any play, but I think spacing out the innervates to get two good tempo swings could be the difference between a win and a loss here.
Yeah, as we saw yesterday from Firebat's Druid, getting two innervates is pretty good.
No, please, don't remind me. Don't remind me of those games. I cried afterwards. Oh, and the Keeper of the Grove, exactly what he wants.
Yeah, indeed. I was just talking about Innervate Keeper as one of the cards.
Oh my goodness!
What? Turn one, Azure Drake.
Kolento's got to be thinking, wait, what is this? And the good thing about Azure Drake here is that it does cycle. What if he gets Wild Growth next turn?
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, that'd be a sick
Then he curves into Keeper. A pretty good deal, I'd say.
But even if he
doesn't have it, then... yeah, he's just got a strong body. Like, this Azure Drake, it's not particularly weak to, like, a Freezing Trap or a Hunter's Mark either.
But the thing is, at the moment, we're looking at a Glaive Zuka play here coming from from Kolento, who's just going to remove the Azure Drake. So maybe Savjz is just trying to put the opponent on the biggest Force of Nature clock he ever could.
Yeah, Savjz, wisely, he doesn't clear. He goes on the offensive. He's saying, hey, I've got the initiative. I'm going to force you to clear instead.
Yeah, and he is forced to clear, in fact. He might take another 4 from this Azure Drake, which is 8 damage dealt from that one minion. And then you have the follow-up Big Game Hunter thrown on the board. That's another 4. So, I mean, Kolento...
Oh, wow.
Whoa! That is not at all what I expected. Not in 1,000 years.
Well, they're just playing a game of chicken right now. They're both saying...
Yeah, but the thing is that Keeper of the Grove is going to... I think Keeper of the Grove is going to seal this in favor of the Druid if they just both keep playing that game.
Leok would be pretty devastating here. There
wow.
It is.
Okay. Well, Huffer would have done a similar job, but it wouldn't have spawned a trap. Well, that's a bit unfortunate here.
Keeper to do 2 damage, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. This is not the Keeper you want. This is not at all. It would have been, you know, as a turn 2 play against something like a Mad Scientist, but... Oh, wow. Okay. A Knife Juggler. Wow. This is amazing here for Kolento. The Druid has no removal, AoE-wise. He'll have to stop and wait on Dr. Boom to come and maybe help, but there's no Innervate, so that's at least 3 turns away.
Not only is there no Innervate, there's no chance for Innervate because both have already been used.
Exactly.
Once again, showing the strength of Hunter, even though 2 Innervates were used, that's usually game over against most classes, but Hunter was able to come back.
Yeah, Leok really helped here. I mean, allowing him to trade the Mad Scientist into an Azure Drake that was innervated, and then spawning a trap that guarantees a tempo win sometime down the line. You know what? This might be the first time I'm happy to use Force of Nature as a removal piece against Hunter. Usually very inefficient, but in this case, not at all. Oh, Snake Trap? No way. Okay, freezing.
Well, Savjz has no plays this turn. He can Savage Roar to clear either the Leok or Knife Juggler.
I think you have to kill the Leok in this case.
It represents 5 damage. Just insane.
But the Lotheb from Kolento going to prevent him from using Force of Nature, so he'll have to resort to his Keeper of the Grove to kill the Knife Juggler, but that's not a very strong play. I mean, it is a play, but it's not a very strong one. And Savjz right now on 14 health. Ugh, swipe.
Swipe would have been pretty good too.
There's 11 damage at least right now on Kolento's board with hero power.
Oh, high main on 6, perfect.
Yeah, high main. No, that's yeah. This is not gonna work.
Kolento doesn't have to think much this turn. Jams down the high main.
Jams down the high main and Ghostface, and there's no way Savjz can clear this without dying in the future turns. There's not a single way to do so.
I mean, there's pretty much lethal on board right now, just with the 2 Leopard Gnomes and the hero power.
Exactly. He might just, you know,
He might just kill
commit
himself.
Sudoku. Yeah, commit Sudoku, and that's fine. Yeah. So apparently, not banning Hunter again, a mistake in this tournament. It's been very sweepish. Whenever Hunter has not been banned, they've just taken games away from just everybody they faced.
Yeah, Hunter
also falling prey to that.
Definitely a top deck in this tournament and in GVG. I feel like in a lot of tournaments, in some tournaments, there's just one class that sweeps everything, and then on the ladder the next week, you're gonna see that one class just dominating, or everyone's gonna play that one class. And
yeah,
you know what? I think there's gonna be a lot of Hunter next week on ladder.
Yeah, so if you ever plan to play something that would beat Hunters, and now's the time. Hemet Nessingwary, get out of there.
Yeah,
it's gonna beat Druids with the Claw, and it's gonna beat Savannah High Main. So hell, if you have the Hemet, maybe you get to use him next week. So give it a shot. It's funny how much of the metagame gets influenced by tournament players and the decks that they build. It's kind of interesting. I find that very, very interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, Savjz won't take his 3rd tournament win of the week. Meanwhile, Kolento moves up to a 2-9 record in his tournaments, in his tournament matches post GVG.
True. That is right. I mean, he's actually coming back. He broke the curse. He broke the curse of the post GVG metagame, where he just had a terrible performance in tournaments, and might be back on his way up. So I'd like to point out, guys, before we move on to the next segment, that this whole tournament is being organized in the favor of Child's Play Foundation. This is a charity event, of course. Every bit of money that is donated for the sake of the Child's Play Foundation will go directly to them, and consequently to children in hospitals who are sick, and they get video games, toys, to help them go through the experience a bit more easily. So that's going to help them out. So feel free to donate, and every little bit helps. You don't have to donate, $2,000 for it to be meaningful. Any amount will help. So thanks for that.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, it's going to be Life Coach versus Hosty.
Oh yeah, prepare your drink. So if you have food and drinks, get them. You're going to be sitting here for a long, long time. You're going to get a rope burn.